All right. Item 7E, presentation regarding update on the city street maintenance program funded through street sales tax. Rocky.
Good evening again. Last time here. A couple months left remaining in this fiscal year. I wanted to give you an update on the street maintenance program utilizing the street sales tax fund. Just a reminder for you and those watching at home, the street sales tax fund is a special revenue fund created for the purpose of improving, constructing, and maintaining city streets, sidewalks, and related stormwater improvements, including the acquisition and replacement of machinery, equipment, and materials, and including the installation of traffic control devices and signalization. The funding for this fund came from a 0.25% tax that was effective January 1st, 2017 and approved by the voters. On average, this fund generates anywhere from $3.5 to $4 million annually. So back in 2016, I don't know if Mr. Aaron is still here or not, but he was instrumental in having a consultant. The city hired a consultant to drive our roadway network system, to analyze the roads, and they use a van with a 3D imaging to pick up all kinds of deterioration, which is kind of the tool and the model we use to select projects for the street maintenance program. Here are the PCI, or the pavement condition index ranges, anywhere from 0 to 100. Right now the city of Broken Arrow sits at 70, so we're right there on the border of good and very good. The projects that we identify in this range are anywhere from 25 to 75. Anything below 25 requires reconstruction. We would turn that project over to engineering construction. Anything over 75 is what we call preventative maintenance, so not as substantial work needed. Here's just a graph showing the importance of street maintenance. We want to make sure that we start spending our dollars there at the top of the graph. If we wait till the bottom of the graph, then we're falling into that engineering and construction for reconstruction projects. And right now, the estimated cost for 1 lane mile to reconstruct is approximately $1.4 million. So you can see the importance on why we want to make sure that we spend that money early and maintain our roads. We have over 1,200 lane miles of roads that we have to maintain. So the roads that we pick are very vital in the strategic method that we use to select those roads. So first, I want to touch on some of the carryover projects from fiscal year 2021. We had a carriage crossing concrete panel replacement project. That project is complete. Cedar Springs Estates project is complete. That was concrete panel repair. I'll touch on that one a little bit later. South Park Estates concrete panel, Mitford Bridge concrete panel, Turtle Creek concrete panel. Those projects are complete. Oak Creek concrete panel, that project is in design, or the design is complete. Indian Springs Park 2nd concrete panel repair is complete. North PECAN Place resurfacing is complete. Sentinel Industrial Park concrete panels are complete. Olive and the Turnpike signal rehabilitation is in design, and the LED street name signs are 85% complete. This project we got 4 intersections left on Lynn Lane to complete, so that'll be done by Tuesday of next week. So here's just some quick pictures of the finished projects. There's South Park, Mitford Bridge, Turtle Creek, Indian Springs, Sentinel Industrial Park, North Pecan Place, and the LED street name signs. So right now I want to touch on the concrete panel replacement projects for fiscal year 2023. Wedgewood project is currently in progress, as is the Steeplechase progress, and the other identified project, concrete panel repair project, was 6100 Center, and that project is complete. And there's some of the finished work in 6100 Center. I'll touch on the resurfacing projects. TIMBERBROOK 4, this was just a mill and overlay project. It is complete. East Houston Street from Evans to 63rd, that was mill and overlay and complete. Washington Street from Highway 51 to Evans Road is complete, mill and overlay. Tucson from Elm to County Line is complete, just mill and overlay. South Olive Avenue from Florence to Tucson is complete. That was also just mill and overlay. Steeplechase, there was some curb gutter and some ADA ramps here, and mill and overlay. That project is complete. And then currently under construction is Vanderveer East. This is concrete curbs and gutters, some driveways, and ADA ramps. The contractor will be done with all the concrete work by the end of next week. And on May 16th, our milling contractor is scheduled to mobilize to start resurfacing this work, or do the resurfacing work, so this project will be complete before this fiscal year is up as well. So here's just some finished projects, or photos of the finished projects for resurfacing work. East Houston, East Washington, East Tucson, South Olive Avenue, Steeplechase. Now I want to touch on some street signal projects. All these projects are complete except for the ones that say 90% complete. The reason that they are 90% complete, council awarded the purchase of the traffic control cabinets on February 15th. Due to global supply chain issues, we will not receive them until sometime in August, so unfortunately, these projects will get carried over to next fiscal year. They'll be completed. But we replaced the cabinet at Main and Broadway, installed talking pedestrian heads at Elm and Queens, replaced the cabinet flashing yellow arrows on Main and Houston, replaced the video detection at Aspen and Highway 51 on the north side, replaced the video detection at Kenosha and Rema on the east side of Rema, replaced the cabinet video detection flashing yellow arrows at Main and Richmond, the same at 9th and Juneau, and the same at New Orleans and the Creek Turnpike, as well as County Line and the Creek Turnpike. Some of the miscellaneous items, street markings, we're currently about 85% complete. We will have this project complete by the end of this fiscal year as well. And this is where we invested in a new paint striping machine, and we vowed to restripe every arterial street once a year, so we're on pace to complete that project this fiscal year as well. Crack sealing was a preventative maintenance measure, annual street maintenance, it's various locations. These are mainly base repair issues, sidewalk maintenance, those are various locations, and then a high-density mineral bond is a preventative maintenance product that we're looking to use and that is currently in progress. Here's just a project map overview where all those projects were located that I mentioned for this fiscal year. And then a couple of projects that aren't street maintenance related, but I want to touch on. They're 2018 general obligation bond residential rehab projects. As I mentioned, Cedar Springs Estates was identified originally as a street sales tax project, but that project, the scope of that project grew from the $250,000 that was originally slated to $1.1 million. So here's a finished photo of that project. It is complete. And then currently under construction is the Southbrook neighborhood. This is a $1.8 million project. It's about 65% complete, and with pending weather, it should be completed by the end of May. So with that, I just want to give you a couple other facts. In 4 years, the city has invested about $11.5 million just in roadway projects alone. That encompasses about 50 neighborhoods as well. So I guess I apologize for all the inconvenience, but not the progress. So with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions you have.
Your whole presentation was very impressive, and you can definitely tell that our streets are a lot better quality than they were just a few years ago. But I really love the way that the lighted street signs are. Sometimes people they don't really realize that they're lighted. You know, they'll think it's just from the city, the city lights or whatever, but very impressive. I like those.
I do too.
Look really good.
So one of the things we'll propose in this upcoming fiscal year is to do the remaining intersections with the LED street name signs, as well as hiring a consultant to reanalyze our network system to see where we are. We have the combination of the street sales tax and the bond money for the residential rehab. The combination of those two and actually getting the work done should elevate our score from 70 somewhere higher than that. So I'm kind of anxious to see where we land.
Rocky, you want to touch on the pavement condition index we're going to request next year?
That's what I was just mentioning. Yeah. So yeah, that'll be part of the proposed budget for next year.
Updating the PCI, having the mapping again?
Yeah, we'll hire that consultant again to reanalyze our streets and to see if we end up scoring higher than that 70 we're at now. And that's where I anticipate with the two funding sources that should not be a problem.
We could just drive the Tesla, right?
Maybe.
You can see the street underneath.
That's also in the budget.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Joining you.